Hi, everybody. I turned it off for you.
Oh, no.
God, this is such a professional show. This is
Professional.
a Fern Between Us, episode 31. Welcome. This is going to be a fun show. Oh, I'm sorry. And who are we? This is a... Jeez.
This time I didn't forget you. She forgot.
That's amazing.
We are two of the four owners. That's Michelle.
That's Jesse.
Yeah.
No, I have no idea. It's already wild. Okay, so we are talking about Halloween wines and
Spooky.
and relationship advice. So it is a truly frightening show. So many people wrote in amazing questions after we talked about our 16-year marriage anniversary that was a week ago.
Yeah.
A week ago?
It's a lot longer than that now. It's over 2 weeks ago now.
And that's the show. We can't remember how long we've been together, and that's why it's a success. All right, so before we get into the questions, we're gonna do a little check-in. How are you doing, babe?
Pretty good. Last day of work. I'm off work as we speak.
Ooh, cheers.
Unless you consider this work, you know. Which
Yeah.
you're
I switched them because it's no.
okay. I'm like, wait, babe.
Somebody else did the pouring tonight, so I had to move it into my.
So we're headed out for a lengthy trip. We will still join you on Thursdays, but
Yes. The show's hitting the road.
the show is hitting the road. Maybe with a new Karen. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we'll make shift Karen every time. We're figuring this out.
We're talking to Karen and her possible personalities. How do you want to see yourself in the next couple of weeks? Anyway,
So I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm tired, man. It's been
hard push.
It's been a big push, and we haven't packed yet. So
Yeah.
or I haven't packed.
I haven't packed. I spent the day running errands. It was insane. I got crappy news, and so I'm not so happy.
Aw.
But it's okay. I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune disease. Real shitty look.
Mm-hmm.
What can you say? But things could be worse. We are tackling it early, and so hopefully there's not a whole lot of, damage to my joints, things, and I can keep going.
Yep.
But
what can you do?
I don't know.
2020.
I do. Yeah. I mean, it was like, are you serious? Like, this is now happening? But I did like that my doctor did say that, a decent amount of tequila is going to really help with, my issue.
And we'll be down in Mezcal land, so I'm sure we'll get to know some of that as well.
Right? What is the difference between tequila and mezcal?
They're both made from agave, but tequila is always made from definitely blue agave, and also has to come from tequila. So, which is a region in...
Like champagne has to be called sparkling wine if it's not made in Champagne.
Exactly. But mezcal is a very related, sometimes would pass for tequila, but other times not, because it's not as exact. It's a broader scope what encompasses for mezcal, and tequila is either aged or not. But basically, so you've got white, medium, and aged añejo. But that's basically it. But we'll tell you more as we learn more, because I don't know.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That's just a brief one. It's a brief once over.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna start off with the candy wine, Halloween wine. It's always kind of a hot mess to try to pair wine with candy, but it's also fun. And
categorically, I totally disagree with this entire concept, just so you guys know.
I know, you already mentioned that in one of our other episodes, which is why I'm forcing you to do it. Marriage advice. So we are...
If you don't like it, just make them do it.
That's like Liliana and I at some point with the business, we were on the front end and the guys kept trying to say, I don't like that idea. We're not going to do that. And Lily and I would look at each other and be like, okay.
And they'd do it
And
anyway.
then we went ahead and did it because we knew better. And that's very funny. So we're doing the 2016 Diablo, which this went out in the wine club today, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
So
any of you monthly members are getting a bottle of this and a bottle of...
Sangiovese?
No. Yeah? Maybe. I wasn't there for most of it. I think so.
But this is such a great 2016 blend. It's definitely heavy Syrah, isn't it?
There's a lot of Syrah, some Cab, Merlot, probably Tempranillo. I can't remember exactly for this vintage, but...
you can see on our website, you can actually get those stats exact if you're interested in that. But it's Diavolo, so, you know, it's a theme. Halloween's coming up. And since most of us can't celebrate the way we're used to, sure. I thought it would be fun to maybe encourage you guys to buy Halloween wines.
Buy a nicer bottle of wine,
Diavolo.
Stay in, treat yourself right. Eat some candy, watch some horror movies.
Yeah. Psh, actually, that sounds really nice.
It does. We'll be on the road.
Oh, well, we can make do.
No, we won't. We'll be at our destination.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so then, people are always raving about this 19 Crimes. One, the marketing is sensational. So, you know, I mean, that's clever. 19 wines, each one represents a different crime where people were...
banished.
And we happen to have the banished tonight. But sent to Australia when they were charged with one of these 19 crimes. So, very clever. The wine's made in Australia. I mean, these people are thinking, and the labels are really interesting. And so I'm a little nervous because...
We've never tried this, neither of us.
Yeah.
We haven't even smelled it yet.
And I'm not a fan of like Seven Deadly Sins or, you know, those Michael and David wines are just too much for me. I can't do it.
Landslide, they're just too sweet.
Landslide's totally different.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
It's kind of what I was thinking it might be.
Well.
But maybe better.
Yeah. The nose on it is actually not as sweet as I was expecting.
Hey, that's pretty solid. I like that.
I mean, it is definitely a jammy wine, but it doesn't have the manipulation I thought I was going to find. That
we find here in the States for sure.
Right?
And it seems like we find from Australian, mass production wines as well.
Yeah, that one
also,
has a kangaroo on
the
front.
other thing that we were nervous about is they're just calling it says on the back ingredients, red wine. So it's like they're pretending like it's Syrah, but, you know, obviously if they're saying red wine, there's
a lot of other things in there.
A lot of other things in there. It's not guaranteed that it's just Syrah. It's almost for sure not just Syrah.
Yeah, but online when you do some research, it comes up that way. So that's actually really surprising.
Surprisingly good, huh?
Yeah, and you know people have been raving about it, so my curiosity was definitely piqued.
So where does the pairing these things with these beautiful wines with candy come in?
So generally speaking, I feel that each candy actually pairs better with one singular wine. What in the past we've done is we've taken our daughter around trick-or-treating, and then we end up at our in-laws, well, my in-laws.
My parents.
And they buy candy to give out, and then they don't ever have any trick-or-treaters, so we show up over there, and we eat all their candy, and they open really nice wine for us. And it's never a great combination, but it's really, really fun. So I have a love affair for the silliness of it. But for me, Reese's peanut butter cups, that's like a solid. Like, you gotta have some kind of Reese's around Halloween. And this I actually love with Chardonnay. So I don't anticipate much from this pairing. We also have Snickers because everybody loves Snickers, right?
I
And
anticipate
I think
more.
this will be better.
I
For sure.
anticipate more from a Snickers just because there's nuts and nougat. I don't know.
You know,
This level of sugar for drinking with a dry wine, it just to me, I don't know. It's just gonna destroy it in so many ways. But it makes it harder to taste the fruity elements.
every
blah, blah, blah.
party has a pooper. And then we have a little dish of candy corn. Most people, it seems like, are posting how you should just throw it in the trash. But
candy corn's awesome.
I like candy corn too, which is super funny. And then, I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I don't think that we should taste this with the wine, but
Okay.
I just thought it was such a hilarious thing that Skittles has made zombie Skittles. And so some of them taste like regular Skittles, and then they say some of them taste like zombie flesh. So I saw somebody post that it doesn't taste like zombie flesh, it tastes like vomit. So you don't know which one it's going to be. So that's just hilarious to me because I think that's a great prank that a company pulled for Halloween. And I love Halloween. It's one of my all-time favorite holidays. I'm big on Christmas, but I love Halloween.
So the way you said that was that it doesn't taste like zombie flesh, it tastes like vomit. How are you going to say that zombie flesh doesn't taste like vomit? There's no such thing as zombies. There's no such thing as zombie flesh. It can taste like whatever. You can't say it doesn't taste like that because it tastes like this other thing.
Touche, sir.
So
what do you figure out?
I don't mind this with the banished, the 19 crimes. I actually don't mind it with our Diablo either. Much better than I thought it was going to be. I'm impressed.
I feel like the nuts stand out in the candy more with the Diablo.
Also,
Which is interesting.
I don't know what kind of fruit that is, but that kind of high note fruit that's in our Diablo, the violets. Sorry.
That's a flower.
I was calling it a fruit, but yeah.
Oh, you can smell the violets like crazy.
Because of this. And then this is almost a decent pairing, honestly, all the way around.
Yeah, that jamminess. Which I was curious, you know.
It's like a peanut butter and jelly.
Oh my god, that's so totally what it is. Wow. All right, 19 crimes banished with your Snickers. Tastes like peanut butter and jelly.
Done and done.
I like that. All right, let me put that down. Because I do want to just for being
kicks.
sick and twisted, see how bad this pairing is, or maybe surprising. And it's also probably giving you a second to think about your marriage advice, huh?
Get married to me, it's easy. I don't know about advice. It's you marry, basically me. You're on easy street. I think, right? Huh, honey?
Yes, my love. Yes.
That would be the advice then.
All right.
I'm not doing it. I just had one of those. My favorite candy, by the way, is Reese's. But I can't whine with it, I don't think. Unless you make me, but if you find something totally amazing, let me know. Other than that, I'm not doing it.
I am not.
I will not. I refuse.
I like
I need a napkin to throw on the ground.
I know.
Or on the table.
I like a lot of peanut butter treats with Chardonnay. It's a really nice combination. Huh. Liliana actually makes some peanut butter. What does she call that? Those triangle pieces, and they have peanut butter, and then they have dark chocolate on.
She has a
layer
name for it, but I don't remember. It's called the.
I can't remember either, and they're so fabulous, but they are amazing with our Chardonnay.
It may come to me, but.
Yep.
All right. Well.
Nope.
No. I told you. I told you. All right. So what do you got?
All right.
Let's go on to marriage advice.
All right.
Or whatever your questions are.
So we're going to start with questions, and then we're going to finish with some of the advice that some of you awesome viewers sent in, because it was open for either. Ask us advice. We don't know what we're talking about at all, but we have made it 16 years. We'll tell you what we think. And then we're, going to share what you guys think is good advice. All right, so first question. What's your secret to success for a marriage that has lasted 16 years? What has made it work, both for sex and communication?
I would think the very best thing is not to have to be right. If
But
both,
I am right.
I know, I'm always right too. But if during a discussion, if it's not going anywhere, one of us or both of us concede that maybe we're not right, that seems to always work. And then as far as like in the sack, I think it has to do with not taking everything so seriously. I think as soon as we
Like being playful?
no, more like do all the candles have to be lit every time? Like I don't know, sometimes if it can just be what it is for tonight, with all its pluses or minuses, and that's okay with everyone. There's not a disappointment factor or a
That you didn't
there's
lay
not a
out
story
rose
built
petals
into
on
it.
the bed.
Right.
Because that's not happening at 16 years.
It doesn't happen, not very often, if ever. But it can work pretty well if
I like that.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think those are both really solid, and I think being willing to continually work, and it is work. And so there are nights when you're so tired and all of a sudden an argument has started to come up. Oh, psycho. And
I got one already. The first one.
Oh, gross. What's it taste like?
Like durian fruit.
Oh, what if it is durian?
It could be.
Which has been described as your grandma's bad breath.
Oh, it's so
That's
gross.
a terrible fruit.
It's so gross. It's like
I don't know why you did that. It's going to ruin your wine.
Wine will wash it down. Maybe the rest of them will be good though. Maybe I only just got the one.
Or maybe it's a bag full of them.
Right?
All right, can I finish my sentence?
Okay.
Jeez.
Go ahead, honey.
Not interrupting your partner when they're sharing their feelings is a good piece of advice.
That was bad.
Anyway, I don't even remember what I was saying. God, you're such a jerk. You obliterated my thoughts. The communication, was that? I was on track to tell you something brilliant, I'm pretty sure.
We can come back to it if you
I guess
remember.
we're gonna have to. Next time you can interrupt me with some other stupid thing. God damn it.
If only one opinion gets put out there, that's the right opinion, apparently.
God, you're like a circus show over there. It's really hard to concentrate. I did talk about, I do have something. I don't remember what the train of thought I was on, but I think it's important that you commit yourself to it, because I think if you have the thinking that you can leave, which you could, divorce is an option. But if you're thinking every little argument or every issue is, you know what, I'm just going to leave, right, then you aren't settled into, well, crap, this sucks, but let's sit down, let's talk about it. I am dedicated to this relationship, and I think that's a really important one.
I totally agree.
All right.
For us, that seems to, or for me, that seems to work well too.
Yeah, it's, I've...
If you can leave, you're gonna sometimes.
Whoa, my gosh, stuff comes
Obviously it gets bad sometimes, of course.
There are highs and lows, and I think some of the older generation couples that are still together have all said to us, that sometimes the lows feel even lower, but then the highs feel even higher the longer you're together and you're dedicated to each other. And I think that's true over that.
We've been rolling on highs way more. I mean, it just seems real rough there from, I don't know, for us it was like year 5 to 10 was just insane. It was tough, you know? It was like, we had to work through a bunch of stuff, and I see how people don't make it.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. Second question. We are thinking about starting a new business together. We've been married 2 years, but never worked together. What advice do you have to give us?
Oh, I like this one a lot. Remember that even though you're right, maybe you're not right.
This is going to be the advice for every single one?
No. I said that in jest a little bit, but also kind of. There's no one way to do any of these things, and so you guys, you know, in any one situation, you guys are probably both, you know, thinking correctly about it, and it's going to be a lot of hard work, but the joys are amazing. It will be good if there's any way you can try to turn it off at a certain time, so that you can also enjoy each other and enjoy your life outside of work. Because if that's all you're thinking about all day long, and then you come home and that's all you talk about all night long, it's gonna be rough at some point.
You stop having a partnership or a friendship or
right. You just become business partners, and you stop having a relationship and a
Plus,
marriage.
it's just so taxing to think about your company 24 hours a day.
You'll end up hating your company if you can't get rid of it sometimes.
And it was hard for us. We really had to be really strict there for a little bit to get us into the rhythm of, okay, I have some things I need to talk to you about. When is good for you? I know you just walked in the door. Do you want to get it out of the way, or do you need to decompress? And then we can hit some of these subjects. The other thing for me that has been huge is that sometimes I just need to talk to my husband about my crap day at work, and not my business partner where he tries to solve the problems and makes me mad.
That was big. That was really big for us for a long time, and we didn't realize it, or I didn't realize it, or something. And then finally we nailed it down.
Because sometimes you just have a rough day, and you just need to be able to say, this happened and then that happened, and you know, it's the typical male female marriage thing anyway. Like, a girl is like, hey, I feel bad. My friend did this, my friend did that, or what, you know, this or this or this happened, and the guy's like, well, all right, well, what we got to do is take your tire to the shop, and I'll do that tomorrow, and your friend, she's being lame and blah blah. He's trying to fix all the problems, and she's like, you're not hearing me. I just want you to sit down and say, fuck, that sucks. Sorry. Come on, language. Say, that sucks, honey. I feel really bad. Like, would you like me to get you a glass of wine? You know, and that's all she actually wants. Yeah, totally.
So you fall into that, but it's times 2 because you're business and a relationship.
Exactly. And so I think it's really important to, it's that key component of putting the question first. Are you ready to talk? Or I need to talk to my husband for a moment.
Yeah.
Put husband hat on. So we've actually gotten pretty good at that. I think that's awesome. So good luck, you guys. 2 years is a really fun, still, cool, exciting honeymoon kind of time. So
and starting a business is so exciting.
Oh, so exciting.
You guys are gonna wear yourselves out, but it's awesome and fun.
And then you celebrate the wins together. They mean even more for your company and your relationship.
Yeah, go ahead.
Anyway. Third question. How does a marriage successfully, there's that word, survive kids? We just had a baby and things are really hard.
I don't know why any of us have kids. It's totally crazy. I don't know how we survive it. the kids or the marriage at that point. And I don't know why we look forward to it and I'll promote it, but it's rough.
Well, I think
it's just rough,
I really
rough.
do believe that there's a biological thing that feels like you need to do it. And it's so exciting, and it's this miraculous thing. I mean, the fact that we can grow another person inside us is so wild, and the whole, development and that you've done this together, and it's very exciting. But surviving it's really tricky, and it will get better. It will get better, guys. The time that you're having right now, where you're not sleeping and the baby's up all night, and you're crying and the baby's crying, and your husband may or may not be a part of those midnight things. I know a lot of different relationships work differently. A lot of dads are super involved, and some dads are not as involved. But as the mom, you're often the number one, right? And then it's hard to be intimate because you are up all night, you're not getting any sleep, you haven't showered probably in days, you are grumpy, and you're touched out because you're holding another human all day, every day, and all night. So it's really hard to keep that going. And I think that's the struggle. When they get older, they don't want to hang out with you, and then
that's hard in a different way.
Yeah, oof! I've never had my feelings hurt so bad as having a teenager in the house. But it also gives us,
we've got more time together.
Yeah, and so
and we have for years now. Actually, like the constant attention for us lasted, 6, 7, 8 years old, and then at that point, but we've got a kind of a solitary kid, so she
likes having some space.
So she would go into her room and just occupy herself for hours, way earlier than anyone else. But so we started getting time together, but it didn't. I don't know. Relationship wise, I don't think parenting's been easier or harder during any of it. I think it's all trying, and it's always changing, and and you have to reinvent the wheel every time. But most of these, I think it's just find time. Try to carve out little pieces of time that's like, this is our relationship time. This is my me time, and this is the bulk of it'll be the kid, the family group time. But if you can at least, I did it by running. I started running a lot.
He ran and ran and ran.
And so then I got a bunch of me time out there, and Michelle ran sometime, had bouts of running, and that helped her mentally as well during those times. But I don't know, for me that was great. I was able to be there. I don't know, but if you whatever your mode is, like maybe maybe it's going grocery shopping, but just alone, and dad and kid hang out, or
I highly recommend that.
Any amount of time that you can just carve out and say, this is what I do, and this is just for me.
It's really hard to take the kids with you when you go grocery shopping, but
anyway, right?
And I'm guessing that this is your first child, and I think that's a hard part when you first have a baby, because you're so freaked out about every little thing about the baby, and you don't want to leave it with somebody, and you want to be with it 100% of the time, and also really want to run away 100% of the time. And it's so okay to have that confliction and be scared and angry and worried all at the same time. And as hard as it is, and you're going to be calling and home and distracted through your date, go take a date with your husband or your partner, and make sure that you take a shower, get dressed, go out and be a human on your own. And
even if it's just an hour or 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Even if it's just to the backyard to like have a picnic, and somebody's watching your kid.
That's
whatever.
That's a good call, yeah. So good luck to you.
Yeah. It's also awesome. I said it was horrible, but it's also awesome. It's one of the most rewarding things in the universe, but I don't understand how we're still doing this.
I think it's also for your relationship. Make sure that you guys are checking in over and over and over again. I think one of the hardest things is that, especially with a trio where the mom and baby are so connected, that dad can feel odd man out. And I think that's an important thing to try to include your partner in. I keep saying dad, but it doesn't mean that it's a dad. Right. That other person is a part of it, and so it's gonna be tricky. Find ways that make that person feel involved and a part of it, and you know it doesn't get easier, but it definitely changes. So whatever is hard right now will not be hard soon, and some new hardship's gonna come your way.
Yeah.
What?
I just tasted the orange one. It was really good with this. And there was a red one in here, but it's not strawberry. It was like cherry, and that was good with this.
Ooh,
with the
yummy.
Diablo. Anyway, next question.
Did you do candy corns with anything?
Yeah, no, they don't work.
Oh. That's a slick move in COVID times. Touch the candy, put it back. All right.
Halloween version of double dipping.
Exactly. When you guys were first dating, was there a wine that meant something special to you both?
Dating? I know there were. We had our favorites. I just don't remember what they were. You're going to be, we're so romantic about it. No?
No. I actually, I do have a specific couple of things, but I don't expect you to remember.
I know we liked, we were just exploring the world of wine and everything about it, so we were trying things from all over, and that's where some of our loves today come from. But something we don't taste very often anymore that we used to love is Amarone.
Oh.
And I don't know if maybe it's a little too sweet for us these days, or too fruity, or too jammy.
It's too expensive.
And too expensive. Huh?
They are really expensive. The really good ones. I get to taste them, or I did when I did some competitions. So I have actually fond memories of multiple wines over our entire knowing each other, because a lot of people got really excited about the 16 years, but I actually met Jesse for the first time when I was 15. And we didn't date then. We dated a little bit when I was 16. We dated we're going to call it dating, when I was 19.
19? Okay.
And finally got together for real when I was 23, right?
Uh-huh.
And so...
Is that right, 19? Yeah. 1920?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You carried on a little bit. But so the wine that I remember from high school with Jesse was Boone's Farm. And it is no offense, Boone's Farm. Rock on with your bad self. You are killing it. I'm sure you don't care that I'm about to trash the wine itself, but it's not a serious wine.
It's not a serious wine, but it is fun and tasty.
And clearly I was young, and this is the drink that Jesse would acquire. And
I was not 21 yet. Not even
clearly,
close.
because that would be really creepy.
Right.
You were 21 and hanging out with the 16-year-olds.
Yeah, we were seniors in high school, and you were a sophomore in high school, and we would, we called it going fishing. We would,
Nope. That's nope. We're not going to publicly share details.
Anyway, we
like
would get wine somehow.
Yes, and that's the wine that he would get for us ladies. The other one was...
It wasn't illegal like stealing. It was like, one of the traditional methods, maybe.
Yeah, I think they got it with the fishing. But the either which way, you don't want to be talking about the illegal activities.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But then when we first got together for the serious time, which is before we
I was going to see if there's one. There's two. There's two in my pack. Oh.
And is it the same flavor? Yeah. I thought maybe it might be slightly different or something, but.
And I'm pretty sure it's durian fruit. Mm-hmm. If you guys aren't familiar with durian, I only know this because we went to New York about a year ago and stayed near Chinatown, and so I went downtown to
specifically seek it out a little bit.
I kind of wanted to seek it out because when we were in Thailand, I did not. It's a big, spiky, like watermelon-sized fruit that.
People notoriously talk about how disgusting it is, so you're kind of fascinated, right?
It tastes a little bit like pineapple, but then it's also got this like funky grossness to it that tastes like vomit, or like your grandma's bad breath, or like kissing your dead grandma, or like I don't know why grandmas have this bad thing. They're lovely and they always smell like flowers. I don't know what's wrong, but those are some of the descriptors for it. And
so you had the ice cream.
So I had ice cream that gave me a hint of it, and now I'm getting at Skittles that have a hint of it. And yeah, it's intense.
Gross.
I'm kind of liking it, but it's really gross.
Ew.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm going to keep eating this the rest of my life.
Oh my God. So anyway, again, I'm regretting giving him Skittles for the show. It's like keeping the third grader like activity going here.
Sit still.
All right, the other wine was when we were first starting to date, the wine that I had kind of known about. I didn't know much about wine at all, and I said, he said, well, what kind of wines do you like or drink? And I said, Rioja, and not feeling like confident that that was a good choice or not, or what that even meant. And he was like, oh, those are great wines. And he shared that he had this like epic moment with a wine called Torre Muga.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a very expensive wine, but of Rioja, and
at the time it was over $50 a bottle, and you couldn't get it in the United States, really.
Yeah. And we ended up saving up and investing. We could finally find one at Coco Man if you're in New Mexico. They get great vintages time to time. You want to be getting a Reserva, you want to really research it. But and that was a really special bottle.
Yeah. Because
then it ended up in our vows.
Nice.
Yeah. He's like, what were our vows?
Did we?
Yeah. All right. We're late, so
should we skip that last one and go straight to?
We're going straight into the advice. I contacted two amazing women that are also phenomenal therapists, and so I asked them what they've seen in their practice, and the first one recommended looking into the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and that is 4 things that you can do that will essentially murder your marriage. Criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling.
Sheesh.
So evidently, researchers have been able to predict divorce in couples who use any of those 4 with a 90% accuracy. Wow. So that's pretty interesting. And she said it really comes down to, do you trust your partner enough to give honest feedback? And are you open to receiving feedback from your partner? If you're willing to work on parts of yourself that hurt your relationship, then this is an important key component to being able to move forward. If you both trust each other and are willing to work on yourselves as much as the relationship, then there's really nothing stopping you. So I thought that was pretty right on.
Yeah.
The other therapist, she said, each relationship is so different, and I really like that as an aspect.
They really are. They really are.
What works for one couple might not work for you, and that's okay. And don't judge what's working for you against what's working for somebody else and then mess this up because you're trying to mimic something you see over there. You know, I like that a lot.
Plus, you probably don't know really what's going on over there, and maybe that one's not really working out. They're just, you know, the old, Instagram.
The grass is greener, yeah.
Instagram relationship, like, it looks great on paper.
Right.
We could take good photos, doesn't mean we're a great couple.
Right? This is the same absolutely brilliant woman that I love that gave me the advice, which is my personal, if we ever did Karen's questions on me, this would be my favorite advice. To parent the child you have.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, it's the same thing with your relationship.
Yeah.
She's so awesome.
Right?
She's also like family. So she also says that you're working with different life histories and different internal logic. So triggers or things that you feel shame about, or that's going to be very unique to each person in the relationship. And then therefore your relationship's so unique, it's not going to be like somebody else's. And she also says often even different priorities and values come into play. And a lot of couples are falling into bickering, letting sex go, not prioritizing the relationship, falling into jealousy or mistrust, and all of that kills intimacy. And of course, if then you go back to the first brilliant woman that we cited, that availability to be honest and open and vulnerable is key. And so these actually, I think, work really well in that you need to have intimacy in more ways than just sex.
Yeah.
And if you don't trust each other, you're never going to get there.
Right.
And you're never going to have great sex if you don't trust each other either, by the way. That's just my 2 cents.
Maybe for the first couple of years you could, but eventually not.
Eventually, I mean, like, if you're going to have the exact same thing over and over again and never discuss, like, things are naturally changing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to not get into details here, people. That would be a different show. And also, she mentions, trying not to rely so heavily on your relationship to meet all of your needs, and stop exploring who you are as an individual. So that's, did I say that correctly? So, keep seeing what it is that makes you tick, not just I want you to like make it better.
Okay, so you meant the opposite of what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
So you meant do keep exploring who you are as an individual. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So don't rely so heavily on the relationship to meet all of your needs.
Yeah.
Keep exploring as individuals who you are.
Right.
Anyway. All right. So then lots of you, so I think that's brilliant. I think both of these women are amazing, and that's probably why they have such excellent relationships themselves. Then all you guys wrote in some great things. Of course, the classic happy wife, happy life. I liked this twist on it. Happy spouse, happy house.
There we go. Hey now.
He's being included.
even the guys, or maybe there is no wife, but it's 2 spouses where it covers us all.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
All right. The other one is to overlook the small stuff. And it can be hard if, I'm literally looking around our house at all of Jesse's piles of socks, and I don't know why there are so many piles of socks.
If it makes you mad, every single second you see one, it's going to suck for you and for everybody forever.
I just had to finally say, we have piles of socks in our house, and I'm not going to pick them up.
I guess that's okay with me.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I come through and I pick up everything, but I'm not going to get mad about it because it's a waste of my time.
Right. I realize, and I don't like them there either, so it will happen maybe, but just not everything happens exactly the way you hope it would.
Yes. Okay. Another one is to stay best friends. I like that. Some people say don't make your spouse be your best friend, but I I mean, we've known each other for so long, and I really feel like Jessie is my best friend.
Yay!
Honesty and communication being a central component, I think, is absolutely true. As soon as you start, having secrets or not sharing your actual feelings, it becomes artificial, and I think that's really dangerous. Of course, lots of wine. So lots of people sent that in, and I couldn't agree more. And then we were watching...
But by the way, like, don't argue when you've had a bunch of glasses of wine. That's actually... That's the only time wine probably gets in the way.
Yeah, in fact, you should stop that conversation. Both of you should probably go to bed.
Let's couch it till the morning.
Yeah, that whole don't go to bed angry, don't keep fighting.
Don't keep fighting. It's better to go to bed a little
yeah.
angry than go to bed extra angry later.
Then go to bed with a black eye.
Or divorced or whatever.
Right? Oh, no. It can spiral. And then we were watching Frida, the movie last night. Great movie. And she has a great quote in there where she says, a good marriage equals a short memory. So, if it's often hard, especially if triggers are happening, to let go of some of the stuff. And that's where you work on it. And you say, hey, I'm having a hard time with this. And then hopefully you can get past that. And also, don't stop having sex.
I think that's huge.
No matter what's happening in your life.
You're gonna have more or less over time, of course, but
don't stop.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that was our extra long episode. My God. We will see you next week. We will be on the road. It's going to be different. It's going to be fun, and we are going to actually have a guest, Miss Liliana Zavala Padberg.
Yay!
And
is that already next week? What
it
day
is.
are we on? We're on the 26th, so that'll be the 29th.
And we're going to taste the 29th?
Next week is the 29th. You're having her the next week.
We are having her the next week. I had her slated as next week. Shoot. No, we're having her the week after.
We're having her
because we're going to
on
talk
the 5th.
about the
You're
Day
talking
of the
about the 5th.
Dead and yes.
It will have passed. We probably should have her this week, but honestly.
Oops. Anyway, we got to end the show.
Yeah.
I'll update.
We'll see you next week. Either way, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.